Hello everyone, Adam here from Three Cup Radio, and today I have the Bret Hart of Yorkshire,
Ooh,
the Yorkshire Wildcard, Ernest Boggs. My friend, how you doing?
I am alright, mate. How are you doing, lad?
I'm pretty brilliant,
Ah,
pretty brilliant.
cracking to hear the Bret Hart of Yorkshire. I'll fire. Strong statement. I like it.
I've done my research. I've done my research.
Oh, cracking. Oh, fire. Proper prepared here.
Guys, I'd like to say I have a modicum of professionalism on this podcast, so
I'm not wrong with you. It's not wrong with it at all. It's good. Cracking. Do me justice.
how have you been anyway? What's crack? How have you been?
I've not been too bad, you know. Sheep are hurdling themselves and coal mines are working away to note. Trying to think what else. Aunt Betty's behaving herself and all like.
Mhm.
Trying to think what else. I am. I still like my Yorkshire tea with milk, no sugar, so that'll do it for you.
Fair enough. No sugar as well.
Aye, builder's brew. Depends how you want to call it.
I'm a sweet tooth myself, so
And I fully get it. I mean, I used to have a sugar in my brew, but then I realised I've got to knock off a few Yorkshire puddings, so got to take the sugar out of it to get the lesser of the Yorkshire pudding. Lovely, like, but can't be dealing with that.
oh my lord, I can't. You can't beat a good Yorkshire pudding.
Oh no, I agree.
Oh my lord.
Bit of gravy on that some as well. Ooh, tasty
Eh?
some.
Ooh, I nah, they are covered with man.
Mm, good lad.
Sunday roast, they are saved to the last.
Oh
Every
no.
time
I,
they are
I,
saved to the last.
oh no, stop, man. I've had my tea as it is. I'm gonna end up out here again, mate. Oh dear, dear.
It is. Oh, it's gotten me hungry now. I haven't had my tea, so I don't know
Well,
what I'm
mate.
gonna have. But
Well, after this, you can go stick kettle on, put yourself some Yorkshire puddings in oven, and you'll be right.
there we go. Sounds like a plan to me.
Cracking, good lad.
So, from what I've heard, you went into wrestling post lockdown because you were acting beforehand. Am I correct?
You are correct indeed. You are correct. Did it when I was studying way back in uni. Well, way back. It was a good couple of years ago now, and I was after lockdown. It was like, right, I've got my uni life sorted, but I like a routine personally because it's the only way I realistically like function. So like something to look forward to, something to do, something to aim for, and acting was it. So I found an acting class in Bolton, and it were called Sterling Academy. So I went there first day, first in hand, and there was a few people that were just starting out and all, like so, like loads of different folk, and one of them was a wrestler, and he is known as Rossi Rascal, and I don't know if you've heard the name through the pipeline, but
I've heard the name.
aye, well, he runs a fair bit of Blackpool and stuff like that. So with like PCW and his own academy lot. But anyway, so I went after the whole class, after all that, I then spoke to him just like, "Here, mate, I've heard I heard you're a wrestler, but where do you train and stuff like that?" And he tells me about PCW and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Oh, mad! Didn't even know that was like that local. Like, how do I get into it?" And he tells me about what white collar wrestling. So like you pay for 6 8 weeks of training, and then you do a show, and all that money that you earn from the tickets goes to charity.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. But I would have done it, but I'm like, I didn't know if I liked it because I always watched it on and off as a kid, but I never really, proper got involved with it. I did my research, but then kid being a kid in school, you're like, oh, I might get bullied for liking this. So I kept it on the hush for a long while. And I only started watching it again in university But then I said, I don't know, I'll give it a thought. A couple of weeks later, so I'm still there thinking this would have been a good idea. PCW have an open day, and I'm there like an open day. Huh, all right, and it's on certain days. So after my acting class, I was initially meant to get trained, but then one of the people at acting said, "I'll give you a lift." I'm going Preston way. I'm like, "Grando, free train ride, no, free car ride, no expenses required. Great day for a Yorkshireman." So go on this way through to car, get to Preston, and then I go there and I'm met by Case and Riley, good lad he is. And since then, I've been doing it for, well, training 2 years and just starting to get on shows this year. So, year on shows, 2 years training.
Have you found it?
Hard. No, to be fair, like the journey is an incredible thing. Like,
Mm.
there's so much that goes into it that I didn't realize that went into it. But
Yeah.
once I've realized, I committed to it like all the time, even during like uni work. Like it got involved within my final project in uni. It got involved with my fitness. It got involved with just my routine. So it's like my mates are like, "Hey mate, Boggy, you free at weekend?" "No mate, I've got to go to Blackpool to do a show for PCW, lad." And yeah, that's basically it. My life has now become wrestling, and my whole character has now been me tenfold.
Pretty much sounds about right.
Aye, pretty much my life is wrestling.
You
And it's
don't
great.
you don't realize how hard it is until you actually start training, or do you? Even the
Well, that's it,
tiniest little things are just immensely, like chain and things like that. For me, I remember like doing chain. Oh my God, you don't
chains,
it proper blows out the water for you just how difficult it actually is.
mate. I've been picking up more chain wrestling recently. Like, because I've been on shows lately, but it's like I want to try and expand out a bit more, try and
Mm,
do some more technical side of wrestling. And like, I've been drilling it through with a mate of mine, and it's like, oh god, he knows way more than I do. God damn. So I'm there trying to figure out ways of getting out of it, whether it's improv or stuff that I remember my coach telling me. But it's still needing drill in my head. So it's like I'm
yeah.
watching these old matches of like Johnny Moss and Doug Williams and then watching
Ooh.
my coach CJ Banks with Pac and all that stuff. Like watching all these matches, trying to pick up little bits. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that, and that's it. Like it's just expanding it. But when you're first doing it, it proper sets you back, and it's either you love it or you don't do it again, and that's it.
Yeah. You have to have a passion
Well, that's
for
it,
wrestling. Like, and you've kind of got to be a bit of a sociopath, but you kind of have to have a passion.
mate. You gotta be a bit of a masochist as well. I mean, hellfire, throwing yourself on a wooden floor for entertainment. You gotta be somewhat mad in the body.
There are some mental people I've seen both in the big time and in NXT, and no, in the indies. Sorry,
Oh, absolutely.
there are some mental. Gargano's one who Gargano's one for a mental bump, and you're just looking at mate.
Nah.
Why? It's amazing for the moment, but oh my God.
It's the one that gets me is like Darby Allin. Like,
Mm,
I don't watch AEW and I watch it from time to time, like little clips, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Ow!
exactly.
He
I like I'm glad AEW is around, trust me, because
absolutely.
it basically takes away the monopoly of WWE and wrestling.
Well, that's it.
But like, oh my God, why does Darby do any of that?
It's mad. Like, don't get me wrong. I like how AEW is now the bigger alternative to the other
Yeah,
leagues that you can watch now, and it's great. We need diversity in wrestling.
we
That's
do.
it. But when it comes to like mad bumps and like inmates running the asylum, it's like you've got to have some level of is this a good idea? And
Mm.
that's it. Like,
You need to have awkward to say his name right now, but you need to have a Vince McMahon or a Triple H. You need to have
Mm.
someone up there.
Yeah,
And I
that's it.
don't know about Tony Khan. Tony Khan's the money, but I don't know about him being that guy to really be at the top because I don't know. I think he's more of a fan. I think he's too much of a fan to really,
Again, if
you know what I mean?
with wrestling, you've got to also look at it from a certain standpoint. He's making money and he's booking
Mm.
some phenomenal matches.
Oh,
I will
yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
But it's like each to their own taste. Some like the more indie side of wrestling, but also there's like the aspect of there's a longer meaning behind all of these matches that are going on. Like you gotta have that split in you, and that's it.
In my personal opinion, story comes first over anything. You can have, and this goes for anywhere, AEW, WWE, anywhere. I'm not just taking shots at one company here, but you can have all the flips and these amazing spots in the world. That's incredible, but
But it's what
I need
builds
to be
up.
taken on a ride. I need to be
It's what
taken on that
builds.
story.
The way I got told about it is what builds up to those big flip spots or those big mega bumps. That
Hmm.
counts towards that being like a whoa moment sort of thing. Like always build up from the ground up, bring it up and then bring it down.
Yeah,
That's the way I've been taught to work.
yeah, exactly. Like if you have a tope suicide or a suicide dive at the start of in the very first match, and then you have one in the second,
Hmm.
it you see one, you see then the one after that, you want it kind of waters
Like,
it down.
well, that's it, and that's where a lot of wrestling is. It's like these moments they need a reason to be as impactful
Mm.
as they should be. Whereas if you're doing it in like every match, unless there's a valid reason for it, it's like, okay. Now you're kind of making it like, why are you doing this when the last three people have done it in basically the rough time period? Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, it, and I can imagine it being very difficult trying to diversify different matches and
Mm,
in conjunction to other people's matches and things like that. I can imagine it being very immensely difficult, especially for such a huge billion-dollar product
mm.
like AEW or WWE or TNA and things like that.
No, absolutely. Like,
And I can imagine it being very, very difficult, but I need
what's
to be taken through that match on that ride because if I see something, I'm like, why'd that happen? You know, it
well, yeah,
starts to take you a little bit out of it, and then you start questioning, and then it's very difficult for them to bring you back in.
and that's it, mate. That's it. Like, you gotta be enthralled in it because it's a story or it's something that you want to be interested in. Whereas if there's a moment that like brings you out of it, you're like, you've lost the attention, you've lost the eyes, and that's not what we want as wrestlers. We
Yeah.
want more eyes. We want more people to like us, like us or hate us. It doesn't matter. That's our job. Oh,
Down to the
kidding.
bottom dollar, like the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. They're right.
Who would you say inspired you? What was the wrestler, like the number one wrestler for you who inspired you?
Ooh, that's a very broad question. Like, I could name wrestlers that I remember that I was like got me into it when I was a kid, but the wrestlers that got me back into it, that's more of a harder question. Like, it started out, and it will sound so silly. It was when the John Cena meme was about.
Ah,
So like the whole it's like that. I saw that as a sweaty person on the internet, and I'm like, wait, The Rock's involved. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? And it all went on to a spiral. So John Cena, I would say, got me into watching it or like seeing clips of it. But as a general inspiration for being in the ring of like no BS taken, I'm classic me. I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin all the way.
perfect example right there. Can't argue with it. I've got a track of him. It goes Steve Austin, AJ Styles, and then Becky Lynch.
Ah, you got to see the list for me. It's Steve Austin. Trying to think other people. Like, is this including indie wrestlers or like wrestlers that get you into the business?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
right. So top list, Steve Austin, all that sort of stuff. Martin Kirby's another one actually,
Oh, interesting.
because I
He's,
was
I mean, it's a huge name.
well. That's it. I mean, I wrestled him a couple week ago.
But,
Like
damn.
that was how full circle. Like I remember when I was like 15, and it was when WCPW was a thing.
Mm,
So it was the likes of like Kirby, Rampage Brown, and all these like big British indie names that came into the circuit. It was them that got me understanding that there was more to wrestling than just this big American company. And to say that nowadays that I've either wrestled with some of these people or have been trained by people who work with them or do stuff at the same time period, it's like this is like surreal.
yeah, there's
Like I, without realizing, I probably have watched my coach wrestle before I started wrestling. That's the weirdness of it. So like, that's how cool it is. But John Cena probably for getting me into it. Martin Kirby and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's straight up. That's the three that proper like got me invested.
that's that's I mean that's a top, it's a great top three. It's a great top three.
I like. I've never really watched Brit like not sorry. I've not watched WWE properly apart from like the the odd time my mate goes. I've got the WWE subscription. There's a big
Yeah,
pay per view on. Do you want to come? I've always watched
yeah.
the clips or like some blooming thing online or something like that. But it's always been British indie wrestling. Like that was readily available to me. So like watching all these British indie names such as Kirby, Rampage, Big Dame, or Prince of Mean, like watching all these people, and it's like, damn, these are the people that actually like got me interested in the business properly. I could say my Cenas, I could say my Austins, but it was the Brits. It was British indie wrestling that did it for me,
I love
100%.
that. I love that. I absolutely love that. It's so much different.
Well,
It's
that's it.
so different. Like being it, the simple fact of being able to converse with certain wrestlers when you're at a show before or after they've had a match at the merch stand, things like that. If you're able to like, just say hello, buy merch, and say hello and actually talk to them, especially for the kids,
Oh God.
it's so huge.
Well, that's it. Like, as I know, there's not as similar impact to like WWE names, but like as British wrestlers, we have a level of like understanding that we are it's not sound big horned, but like a big deal to an extent because we're putting our bodies out there. We're getting you involved. We just want you to we just want you to like enjoy it. Like
Yeah,
I'm a showman. I've been a showman since I was a kid, being an actor and all that sort of gubbins. So it's like I want you to be invested. I want you to hate me, love me, whatever you fancy. Just as long as you enjoy what I'm doing, I don't care.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much, yeah.
Like Hellfire, I'm wearing my blooming flat cap now in the sense I'm still somewhat in character. So it's like that's the dedication you got to show for it, and I'm always for it, 100%.
It's great. I started watching indie wrestling in 2017 and never looked back.
Mm.
It was the show with Lorne Austin and Pete Dunne, Sonny Durson, and it was just insane, absolutely insane. I remember someone, I forget who, it was a social worker who came in and we're talking
Oh.
wrestling because it's me.
Mm.
So obviously we were talking wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the wrestling guy. Um, he's like, are there any top names that you've watched? And I was like, how long have you got?
Oh no, I
Like,
get
we were going on and on and on for a bit. I think we might have scared them off a little bit, but
that.
hey, it's just it's insane.
Well, that's it.
How like you can the one of the main thing I love about independent wrestling is that you can be watching someone from the ground up, their debut, and they could go into WWE or AEW or TNA. Harley Hudson, for example, off to TNA, and you've watched like these people. I've spoken to Harley on my podcast, and it's just
Mm. It's like one funny one actually. I actually remember this, and it was whilst I was still like traveling with my mates who were on shores. It was like I was went with Ross to Target, and I was allowed backstage like helping out and whatnot.
mm,
And I'm sat having this conversation with your lad, and I'm like, "Hey mate, how you doing? Da, 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 da. How's training going? What you doing and all that stuff?" So I'm go, "All right, nice to meet you, so and so." And then we go our ways because he has a match later. I don't. I go to the audience. But my mate's mum, who is involved with wrestling, she goes, "You know who you've been speaking to, right?" I'm like, "No." And it was who now I think goes by Riley Osborne in WWE.
I don't. What
He
is he an NXT talent?
he is an NXT talent at the moment, but he has had some matches, and he used to go by Josh Terry. And I'm there like I just had a casual 10-minute conversation with him without even clocking it.
Bloody
Fantastic.
hell! It's that's the best way.
Well, that's it. Like you got these are the people too. Like you don't treat them like they're like mega stars or something like that. You just treat them like people, and they'll love you for it.
Yeah,
That's the best way to do
exactly,
it.
exactly. Couldn't agree more. Like that first show talking to Pete Dunne, it was just like I I I couldn't believe I was talking to Pete Dunne, but having a conversation with him was just he's obviously he's not an arse, is he? He's a
No.
bloody nice guy. He's a really sound guy. He's a, he's just like it's just in the back of your mind, I like what you were asked before by a friend's mom. I'm asking him myself. Do you know who you're talking to here?
Yeah.
Like,
Like, that's it. Like I don't. I again. I never really was in like the deep end of wrestling. I was always like there in the sense of I'm aware of what's going on in the big leagues.
mhm.
I have a vague idea of the indies. That's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I keep involved with some bits and pieces, but not enough to care. So it's like finding out I was having a conversation with someone who at the time was about to fly to Orlando to go be in the developmental circuit and then go on to be in the WWE. It's like, huh, that was interesting. And I hope he's doing. I doubt he's watching it, but I hope he's doing all right. Yeah.
So do I.
Eh.
So do I. I hope they're
Oh,
all doing all right. I hope they're all doing well because
no.
it's a funny old business, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is mental.
Absolutely obscene. That one day you're wrestling in the Indies, and you get a call, then shit happens, and now you're
That's
in
what I mean.
front of
Like
all the big cameras, and it's
next day, you got Hunter on the phone just going, "Hey, you, this guy, we have this next show of NXT. You be training with my boy Mike Mitchell Michaels. You get the point."
don't let them hear that impression.
Yeah, it's an awful impression, mate. And my Macho Man's even worse. It's just like, dig it, boy.
Uh,
Oh, we're spiraling out. There's something else here, lad.
you know what? It's a common thread in my podcast. I've got to say, it's a common
Nothing wrong
thread.
with that. I love it. Oh, hecky thump.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to it by now. I just go with the flow.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like that again. So it goes for wrestling as it is with interviews. Whatever happens, happens. It's funny.
Exactly.
Trying to open a window. It's bloody roasting in here. Jesus, wet.
It's bloody warm, isn't it? It's
Mm.
wham. It's wham.
It started pissing it early, and I'm there like at work. I'm like, this is gonna be a quiet day. No, all of a sudden these people come, and I'm like, oh bugger. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. One thing I've learned is rain does not stop the people.
It doesn't stop the
Unfortunately,
no, it doesn't stop the British. It
that's true.
stops everyone else
That's
but the
true.
British.
The British don't care. Northern, more to be more precise, Southerners, they'll go
50-50.
out in it, but they'll put two coats on and three hats and hoodies and everything. But
Mate, I get too warm, mate. I'd go out with my shorts and vest. I'm grand.
why do you think you see so many footballers topless,
Oh god, like at the moment,
despite the weather?
mate, as soon as I got back home, I'm like straight on with my shorts, like hellfire. My hairy legs are out.
Oh yeah,
Cheeky thigh
oh
slap
yeah.
for the wrestlers.
There you go. That's how we get them in. That's how we get the wrestlers in.
Oh dude, heck, hellfire.
Yeah, Randy Orton after you for that one.
Oh no, please don't. Oh dear. Oh dear.
So, trying to get back on track somehow. Um, you obviously with the black car pound and everything, a very proud Yorkshireman.
Too right.
At the start of your tenure as an independent wrestler, did you see has your gimmick changed, or did you see your gimmick going a certain way?
Um, when I started wrestling, most wrestlers go through a phase of you buy trunk tights or whatever on
Hmm.
Amazon. Like I remember my first pair were like Green Lantern tights off Amazon for like 20 bloody quid. I'm like, at least let it be a good bloody superhero movie. Like, come on. But no. However, I did commit to good, well, decent starter boots early. So like I got a pair of 80 quid boxing shoes from the
Hmm.
geezers, and I'm like, at least I've got the boots that look the part properly. But it was the tights, so I started out as a white meat baby face, going by my YouTube nickname and all that sort of stuff, and that was it. But it was when I was training for a brief stint at Top Rope, which, to be fair, I do want to go back to training there because they have some class people, class trainees, class coach. So I want to go back there, but when I was training there at first, this was whilst they were in Burnley, and I was just being told there's only so far you can take being a white meat baby face. You need to have something about you. And I can't remember when it was, but I think it was on my drive back from Burnley back home. And I'm driving it home, I'm like, it's staring me in the blooming face. And I'm proper like thinking, oh, like, what could I do? I could do this, I could do that, I could do the YouTube gimmick, I could do all it. But then I went, it's staring me right in the face, and I'm a moron for not looking at it sooner. Where am I from? Yorkshire, Bosh. And that was where it started really. So then when I approached it it was either the week after or after a couple of days, I approached it to Shake, and he went, "That was it's really I like it. It's a good idea. Obviously needs developing, but it's a good idea." So from I think it was just from there that the Yorkshire gimmick started, and then every little bit that comes from it. So like the enhancing of the accent, throwing tea bags at the crowd, and all that sort of stuff. That all came naturally with time and stuff like that. But for the initial concept, it was just hit me in the face. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Yorkshire it is. That was it.
A lightning in a bottle moment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that was it. Like, I needed something to like stand out. Like, I've done characters for ages. Like, the benefit of like, this is going to the YouTube side of what I did, and I always did like characters for like my YouTube page. So it was like I did an American Texan accent, I did a Russian, Scottish, whatever accent I could do, I would make a character of it. So playing a character and doing acting for it wasn't a problem. So I think that made it a lot easier when it was getting into character for like me, Ernest Boggs. And when it came to finding the gimmick, it was researching what I could do with it, what I could wear, what would stand out from all the other Yorkshire gimmicks. And I thought none of them wear like tweed gear. Like they don't commit to the full tweed gear, some of them, or at least from what I've seen on the surface. So I invested a good bit of money into my tights, and poof, It was. I thought that was expensive. My trunks are Jesus Christ. Worth it though. Worth every penny. The comfiest pair of trunks I own. But yeah, like I spent a good bit of money into my tights. Debuted him at Rascal's place for his
Mm.
like shows and stuff like that. And since then, it's just been Yorkshire, and it's been nice to be recognised as the face of like Yorkshire by people like you who research me or something like that. And it's incredible, and I appreciate it. So thank you.
Of course, of course. Um, I'll be perfectly honest. It's both me and my mum. We
Oh,
both kind of look into the bit of research because honestly, it can be difficult to research indie wrestlers and like Google them because like you know how to do like if you look for a WWE wrestler like John Cena for example, pages and
oh,
pages, but like,
mate.
it's difficult to Google indie wrest. I don't want to say that sounding like a
No, I
dick.
fully get it. I mean, I wouldn't exactly expect the first result of Mr. B to come up with, Mr. B from the Lankadors. It'd be Mr. B from like sort of CBeebies program or something
Yeah,
like that. You get me? Like, but it then gives you like it gives any sort of podcaster interviewer like a sense of like being a unique episode or a unique interviewer because you're going into interviewing these people that are getting about to all these places, but the name is just being brought up by all these people, including yourself.
exactly, exactly. And if I can help one person, then I've done my job.
Well, that's it, and that's what wrestling is. Wrestlers help wrestling, and that's it.
There you go. So it's why I started it, to be honest, just to help and just to talk to some of the because it's very surreal. It's
Mm.
still very for 3 years strong, still very surreal.
Oh God, yeah. Hellfire. I'm not. I'm not. I didn't expect to be in this position anytime soon. Like, God damn, I've got quick.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, like
That
first few months into training, I'm refing a show with like it was Kirby and Daz Black, and then a year late, year and a bit later, I'm standing across from him in the ring, and it's like, whoa. The next thing you're telling me, oh, I've now wrestled, I've been in wrestling matches with Sam Gradwell or like all that sort of stuff, and names to come in the future lines, but it's names like this where I've been in the ring with or I've spoken to them, I'm being trained by them, and it's like, what? That's how surreal it is. Like, god
yeah,
damn. But I
yeah.
wouldn't
And
change the thing.
it's kind of similar to me because I for a short stint was interviewer and ring
Mm.
announcer for WF, more interviewer than ring announcer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I interviewed Ace Wheeler after his very first, I think it was before or after
Mm.
his very first match in WF Mutiny. And to
Oh
see
yeah.
where he's gone now and how good Ace Wheeler actually is now in such a short amount of time.
I was gonna
Uh,
say I remember one of the ref gigs I did whilst I was still helping out, and it was here Ace Wheeler and I can't remember his tag partner, but it was against the Lankadors. And now I see him, I'm like, God, he is wham!
mhm.
Like goddamn broad. Like I will happily have a match with him anytime, any place. Twice on a Sunday.
Look out for
So
the spear. That's all I'll say. He
mate, I was
has one
just
of the most brutal spears I've ever seen.
ah mate, that's no.
He
I'm no mate, I'll have it.
did one thing yeah, on Maddie Morgan, and you watch it and like genuinely, and not because she's a woman or anything, I'd pay because you're looking at it going, holy shit, she might be dead.
It's
Not
all right. Ace Wheeler has not seen the White Rose knee. That's
okay.
all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Very good to know. That's Now I'm actually want to see.
Aye, good. I hope you could go.
I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. That'd be very, very fun.
Mate, like, I'd happily love to like work anywhere, anytime. And LWS one of the places. Ironic, I know, Yorkshireman to Lancashire, like what? Make it make sense, but honestly, some great people at LWF, and I would happily wrestle a
Mhm.
good amount of them.
Yeah, it's home to me. It's family, WF to me, and I couldn't love it more. So yeah, it would be awesome having you there.
Oh, man,
Be
I
really
like
cool.
the day I get to work there. I'll be excited. The day I work, I'll be excited.
It'd be cool. I'd enjoy it. I'd be wondering who's face between you and Ace because
I'll
you've both proven to be
let
very big heels.
let you decide, mate. That's not on us.
Oh, don't let me decide that one.
That's not on us, lad. That's not on us.
Paul, Dave, help me out.
Oh, dear.
Awesome stuff.
Oh, man.
So I've got you a little fun one here.
Okay, little fun
A
one. A
a
couple.
couple little funnies.
I like a bit of a silly giggle. Go on.
I'll go with a couple of little sillies. Um, would you ever choose coffee over tea?
There's a big red button on the top right corner of the screen. If you ask me that again,
I
take a look at yourself and tell me otherwise.
don't know.
Yorkshire tea, mate. That's my home, mate. I'm about a 40-minute drive from the factory, lad. Like, no joke. I've worked at the place myself, and it's great.
Of
unless it's
course you
Taylor,
have. Of
unless it's
course you have.
unless it's Taylor's of Harrogate, because it's the same company that makes Yorkshire tea, and they make a great bloody coffee.
Of course, yeah, there it is.
tea, tea, all born and bred, no questions asked.
I forgot myself, but there we go.
You're a heel to me now. I have to boo you. Boo.
You're here to me, but my fans love me.
Oh,
God,
dear.
that sounds pretentious to say. God, I need a shower after that one.
Nah, man, don't worry about it. Trust me,
I,
with wrestling. Well, thing is, though, in wrestling, you have to like big yourself up. That's it. You have to big yourself up. Like, yeah, I've got fans. And
I
what?
still hate saying that. I've got fans. I still hate saying it.
Nah, man.
I am this close. I think I'm 7 subs from 100 subs.
Oh, damn.
Insane.
Oh, man, congratulations, man, for
Thank
real.
you. I really
Like,
appreciate it. Like, I still can't believe it.
well, that's
It feels
it,
so strange saying fans.
mate.
It's
Trust me. Trust me. Thing is, though, in wrestling, like, there's no like transitional period where you're still weirded out for it. It's you go from okay, there's some people that cheers for me, yay. And I'm like, oh god damn, they're buying my merch. These are fans. My god, there's no like easing into it. It's like, yeah, these people like it. There you go.
it is
But
mental.
the feeling you get from it, it's deep.
Mm,
It's deep, and I love it so much.
I can imagine. The closest I've gotten to that sort of thing is when I had my show Wrestle Story in December.
Oh yeah.
That's the closest I can think of to that feeling of people buying merch is like people are donating, people that didn't think would donating.
Hmm.
It, people going to the show. It was a packed. It
Now
was
the
absolutely
day,
packed.
yeah, the day I made it was when Wrestling Jeebus put me on his Instagram.
Oh, what a guy!
He is a godsend to wrestling. Modern day British wrestling needs a Jeebus at every show. I love that man, and I will buy that T-shirt.
He is an absolute saint. He's
Yeah,
a saint. I
he
love him
is.
so much. He's so nice to talk to as well.
He really is. Jeebus, if you're watching this, we
Hmm.
love you. British wrestling loves you.
Yes, yes. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, man.
I love that man. He's so nice. last time I saw him was at a BTW show. I'm being the one where you were. Yeah, it was. It was the one where you were at, actually.
Or me smacking Matt Williams across. Yeah, I love that. Oh dear. But
I'm saying nothing.
that's all right. Don't worry
I'm
about it.
saying nothing.
But no, but that's the thing. You get people like the way it's those sort of things. Like people are making stuff about you. So like you're seeing these highlight reels. You're seeing people share pictures of you without knowing about it, and it's like, and then obviously the people buying merch that you have, and it's like, oh my god, these people are amazing.
Yeah,
And I am always forever grateful for it all the time. And
it's seeing Wrestling Jeebus put his highlight reel on of my show. I knew I'd made it.
well, that's it.
Like it, I felt it was the most surreal, but just heartwarming feeling. Just like my show being highlighted on his Instagram is just he's uh,
He is a godsend to
he
wrestling.
is.
He really is. That's a once in a lifetime kind of dude.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I absolutely 100% agree. And there needs to be more people like him.
There really should be. There really, really should be. Honestly.
It's just been more nice people, and he's one of them.
Mm.
We're putting you over heaven here, mate.
There you go, mate. No, man. All love. All love.
All love. Now, for the second city,
Okay, I'm ready. I'm hearing it.
if you were trapped on a desert island and you had all the utensils, I've got it written down here, so I keep looking up, all the utensils to make a solid cup of tea, but the only tea bags you don't have are Yorkshire tea because for some reason the defunct somewhere. I don't know
Yeah.
where they maybe got swept up by the ocean or something. Which would you choose?
I'd rather drown. I'd rather drown than make that disgusting brew of Tetley's.
No PG
Absolute.
tips.
Yeah, don't you dare. That is blasphemy. Oh, mate. Oh, God. I've had PG tips chanted at me so many times now. It's both awful, but I also don't. It's also great. Oh, dear. I think the first time it happened, I can't remember where it was, actually. I can't remember where the first PG tips chant started. I think it was either at one of the Rascal shows, or it was under Squared Circle with under Marty Jones's show, and I was against Bruce Sheila, and they did not have it. They were calling me Yorkshire wet wipe. One of the little like kids would flip the bird at me, and I'm like, "Who the hell taught you that one?"
Oh, the kids are the worst.
Oh, the kids are mental. Because it's like I can't respond to this. But goddamn, you're fair enough. Oh, don't do it in school, kids. But like, mad.
The kids, honestly, are mental. The kids are the worst for it. The adults, they'll sit back and they'll chant and they'll have a laugh. The kids, holy shit,
Oh
there's
god,
no
yeah.
holding them back.
Oh, I don't
They
know.
will do and say so much shit.
I don't know. Some adult fans are men. It was
Oh
actually
yeah, but
one of the last shows I did. It was for Target, and it was a tag match. Me and Golden Boy Charlie Anderson against Mark Tribal and Jimmy T. And one of the fans got that miffed at me. He grabbed my boot whilst I was just waiting in the corner mid match. And I'm looking down, I'm like, is that the kid? I'm looking down, I'm like, some 50-year-old pensioner, get off of me. Jesus.
see, that's too far.
That,
Never put your hands on a wrestler.
well, that's it. Like, don't get me wrong, he didn't do all, like, too bad. Like, all it was just grabbing my ankle and that was it. But it was like, wait, I'm in the middle of a match here. If you want to give me shit, do it afterwards.
Yeah, like that's over the line for me. You never put your hands on a wrestler. I don't like that.
Well, that's it. Like,
there's too much. You see it a lot. You see it quite a bit of like people like I've seen at BTW people taking the their pipe that Jack Johnson and Drill have, them taking it, and then they when it comes to the spot, they have to look for it, and they're like, "Oh, we've got it here." It's no,
See, I'm not aware
no.
of that, but
That-
that's
I frequent it, but
hmm.
I don't like. That's part of the fan base I don't like because they want to get involved without becoming the wrestler themselves, so they become drunk fans, and then you don't get involved in a match because
Unless like
you
a
don't
wrestler
know what
invites you.
wrestler will hit you.
Unless a wrestler invites you, then it's something different.
That's
Like
different.
that's
That's
then very
different.
different.
So
But
I remember getting invited into the ring by the Void. That
nice.
wasn't that was fun.
Oh god. All right.
Yeah, it's a nice little promo about a feather. I was holding a feather up, and then he told me to drop the feather. The feather went down to the mat. He went,
Yeah.
"Where is it now?" When it's on the floor, he went, and that represents all your hopes and dreams, and punched me.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless.
yep. Now he
Oh,
caught me flush.
mate.
Caught me good.
I think the only times where fans have interacted in matches, it was tag match. It was me and Arcadius versus Big Steve and Sam Gradwell, and it was brawling on the outside, stuff like that. And Gradwell does this thing with his kid where he picks him up and uses him as like a battering ram to another opponent. That guy was me, and basically he picked up his own kid, picked him up, bang. Oh Jesus Christ! I got up slowly, turn around. There's another kid. Bang! Oh, Jesus Christ! And then another one. Bang! Another one. Oh, Jesus. When does it stop? Turning around ever so slowly. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Ah.
See, stuff like that I love. Stuff like that's great. Well, not for
Oh.
you, but
Yeah, it's all right. I got my own back. Turn around. He counts it, picks up another kid, and just finishes me off with another blooming battering round. I'm like, oh, God.
what the hell?
Love working with Sam. Absolutely love working with you.
Tell you what, wrestling. That's why indies is so much better, in my opinion. You never bloody know what you're gonna get. I went to TWA once. I've been there
Oh,
quite a few times. I went to
class shows.
TWA. Oh, oh my god!
Mate, they're too
Never
good.
laughed
Like,
so much in my life.
one of the most unique promotions in British wrestling is
Yes,
TWA.
love it
Like,
so much.
there's freedom there, and you can just do what you can do. Tell a story any way you want, and it's beautiful. It's really fun.
I remember watching, and this says itself. Anywhere, this is the main event anywhere. Jenny B and Jack Barron versus Joey Hayes and Harley Hudson. That's the main event anywhere.
I was there. I refed that show.
That's why you look so familiar.
Mate,
Oh my god, that's why you look so familiar.
Mate, I refed that match.
So you heard the Joey is a simp chance.
I was there, and I was there creasing in the corner like, I can't
That's
believe
why
this
you
is an
looked.
actual chant.
When you wrestled at BTW, I was like, you know, when you half recognize someone.
That's it. Like, I've been a
You mentioned refereeing earlier. I was like,
mate, I've been
that might be
about.
it. That might be. Oh my god, it is that same.
Mate, I've been about. I've been
Mate,
about me was a ref.
mate. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
you
that
remember?
makes perfect sense.
I'll tell you one. Do you remember when Jack Johnson cashed in his briefcase at Heaven and Hell? Well, not
Yes,
Heaven and Hell, at BTW. Bonfire Fury 2, that was it.
Matt had the title for about 2 seconds. Yes,
Yeah. Guess who ref that? Hi!
that's where I recognise you. I mean, you did your
Hey,
job. You did the job well. If I can half recognise it, because a
mate,
referee's job is to be invisible. So you
all I
did the
rem-
job well.
that's it. And all I remember from watching all of that show, Dean Allmark, shading actress, banger match. All I say, studied the hell out of it in the ring.
Dino Mark is a special guy.
He really is. Like, bless him for what he's going through at the moment with his back, but like, God damn, he's still good, even with half a problem. Like he's so good.
It's so seamless. Him and Joey, it's so seamless with them. And like, but I've said this before. I'll say
Mm,
it again. Like when I first started watching wrestling, it took me a long time to take to Joey.
mm.
It took me a while. But I don't think it was him. I think it was the booking. I think that's what it was
Right.
personally. But then you actually take a step back and watch him and watch how every single no, it doesn't matter who Joey's against. Doesn't matter who he's against. It's a classic straight up because of just how bloody good that guy is.
Well, that's the reason he's called Batman. Like
Yeah,
he's that good
fair.
to give you a good match. Like he is one of the people I would love to wrestle, and
Yes.
I remember issued an open challenge for Future Shock, and I really wanted to go for it. It was like I was just nearly a year into my career, nearly a year or maybe a bit over into my career, and I'm like, I think if I want to do good, I want a match with that man right there.
Is he like your pinnacle?
I didn't get it. However, that is a match I really want and still want to this day. A match against Joey Ace. That is what I say.
Legend. True
Yeah.
absolute legend.
Well, that's it. Well, that's what I bring. That brings me back to what I said earlier about all these people from like the WCPW like
Mm.
roster. They all trained at the same place, Grand Pro Wrestling. So it's like my coach CJ Banks, Joey Hayes, Danny Hope, Martin Kirby, I think, as well. It's like all these people that we now watch and study. It's like these are the people that did that, and it was incredible. And those are the same people I would love to wrestle. Just, oh, mate.
I I remember working at a shop near mine. I don't want to give away too much because I don't want to dox the people, but
Not fair.
I remember I served Daniel Hope's brother more times than not. I served him so
Oh,
many times. He lives very close to me, and we actually bumped into Danny Hope in one, and like the shop next to the shop I used to work at,
oh, mad.
and
That's what I
they
mean.
look so similar. It is mental.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Different enough to know, but like like when you
Similar
take
in
like
the
a
sense
half
that
glance,
it's like, is that? And then, yeah, yeah, I
mm,
get you.
yeah, that half glance, you're like, oh no, it's his brother. Okay, yeah, yeah. But it's they're both
Yeah.
extremely quiet. Because Danny's a very quiet guy.
Oh,
Great wrestler.
he is lovely though. Like the
Yeah, he
interactions
is.
I have had with him in like locker rooms and stuff like that, he's such a chill guy. He's so
Yeah,
nice. Same
yeah.
with
Danny
Joey.
Hope's such a lovely man.
Like most of the people from those days of training, they are the soundest people on the planet.
Yeah, I remember watching a LWS show a while ago, and I was
Hmm.
stood watching it, and I was stood with Joey Hayes and Troy Ryan.
Hmm.
And you look at those two, and I'm just stood there going, I took a step back,
Hmm.
realized who the hell I'm talking to, analyzing each match. Like, oh, that was good. Oh, I could have done that. Oh, and they're going through like the actual, not just that was good, but like when you're talking to Troy Ryan and Joey Hayes, they go into details.
Well, that's
And I
it.
just stood talking to two of the absolute best in the indie scene right now.
Do right. Do right.
They are phenomenal. Like Troy Ryan is, oh my god, I don't understand how he's that big.
It's just a
It's,
he's a beast from York. He's also from Yorkshire, so he's an absolute beast.
you wouldn't think so with the accent. He's so softly spoken.
Yeah, well, that's it. He moved. I think if I remember, he moved from like the Yorkshire area ages ago, so that's probably why. But again,
Ah,
true Yorkshireman, and I'm happy with
fair
it. Oh dear.
enough. Fair enough. Yeah, he turned heel on LWF, so it's kind of makes me hate him a little bit more now.
Oh, oh no.
Tell you what, I was sold. I'm one of those people, say what you want. I'm
Mm.
one of those people want to watch the match. Is I'll because so I was watching King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, yeah.
And did you catch it by any chance?
No, like I said, it's only if my mates invite me to watch on like
Fair.
pay-per-view, then it's
Good
like I'll
show.
watch it. No, I
Good
loved
show, to
it.
be honest.
The results as well, they seemed like proper and they was booked properly, but end of the day,
Yes, agreed.
don't care. As long as you tell the story, I don't care.
Sound, sound. Like, I'm one of those people, and I'll give you an example. I like to try and read what's going on
Mm.
and see and like guess the outcome of what's gonna go on.
Mm.
It's kind of like just how I do things in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
head. I'm not one of those who goes around telling people this is what's gonna happen. But like a little suggestive chat with a little chat with my mum.
Mm.
I'm wrong sometimes, but like it's scary how often I'm right.
Well,
It's
that
weird.
when you're a wrestler, you can't watch wrestling the same way.
Yeah,
Like there's not many unpredictable moments in like the big leagues nowadays. Like,
WF Slammergans to the last big show.
yeah.
Best show I've ever seen in my life. And the swerves and you couldn't take your eyes away. And I've been watching since 2017, so I've been watching for 7 years now.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't take your eyes away
Well, that's how
for a
wrestling.
second.
That's how wrestling should be. You got to engage with every second of it, and it's immense how powerful some of these wrestlers can be in the sense of captivation.
Hmm.
That's what I want to achieve. I want to achieve levels where I could just do nothing but stand there for 10 minutes, hit one move, yay, done. Zero pumps.
As soon as you hit that level of standing there and the crowd is amped up, there you go.
Well, you've achieved a lot just from that.
Yeah, it's Rock Hogan status, that isn't it? Like that. All they did was stand there for about 5 minutes, and
Well, that's it.
oh my god, I feel so sorry. Still to this day, I feel so sorry for Chris Jericho and Triple H after that. Having to follow that is just it's graveyard stuff. That
Yeah, but no one realized. Nobody actually realized that that match was the dream match it was going to be.
mm.
That was the thing. It was booked how it was, but then the crowd realized this is actually a mega moment, and then oh my god, this is now the dream match of the century. And it's like, well, there goes our booking plans.
I can
Like,
understand. I get why they put that as the main event. It's the world title, undisputed title.
hmm,
Anybody would anybody with foresight would do that, but Captain Hindsight,
yeah,
like, you look at it and go, yeah, about that.
yeah. Well,
Maybe
that's it.
switched. uh, you can't tell. You
That's
can't
it.
tell what
Like,
the reaction's
a
going to
lot of big moments in wrestling are either unpredicted or so fine tuned that you wouldn't believe it.
be. Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I got a massive pop by accident, and basically it was a 6 man match, and basically I think Liam Kafke Alvin as we call him, he hits his tag partner with a belt by accident, and it's like oh no. And then here's me just standing from the corner. I'm like, here, come here, you fat doss. Hitting with a running knee. Loud pop. I'm like, yeah, have that, you pillock. Then I get, then Jack Johnson hits me with a springboard cutter, and I'm like, ow, that hurt. Like, thanks,
Love
Jack.
that man. Jack Johnson's the best.
Oh,
Love that man.
he is. Like, I've only shared the ring with him, so like that 6 man and a couple of other at the time before that. I've never had a one-on-one match with him, and I would love that. And the story's there. Yorkshire versus Salford. I want to tell it.
It's in the palm of the hand. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there, and God, he's what a bloody lovely guy as well.
Well, that's it. He is sound, and his mind
Yeah,
for wrestling is incredible.
it's insane, isn't it, for someone like someone so young to have the mind of wrestling that he has. He's experienced beyond his years up here. He's
Mm.
experienced beyond his years.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
genuinely believe he's someone who can go far. I really believe that.
And I hope he does.
Yeah, so do
I
I.
still want to batter him,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
hope he gets far.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I guess. Yeah, of course. That's wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
yeah, absolutely.
I guess I'll roll out the red carpet then.
Red carpet.
You're from Yorkshire, so you might not know what that means.
I'm gonna say I've got a green carpet here, but that's it.
Mine's kind of grayish, so
Oh, there
it's
you
kind of
go.
bland. Um, what would you like to? I always stumble over this point. I really don't know why. Would you like to plug any socials, any upcoming shows?
I
Floor is yours.
mean, standard thing. I've always Instagram, Twitter, Facebook pages. They're all. I'm assuming they're all going to be somewhere along here. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll put them
Um,
all in the description below.
that's it. June. Oh, I'm trying to think. June 8th, back at PTW. I am back at there at the Last Drop Hotel Spa. Trying to think where else now. Jesus Christ. And other shows I am not to disclose yet until the nearer time. So unfortunately, that's the case.
A man of mystery.
That's how I like it. Find out. Buy my tickets.
Follow his socials and you find out. He's
Yeah,
got you. He's got you by the balls on that one.
nah, that's it.
A true salesman right there. True salesman.
Oh mate, always.
Mate, it's been an absolute bloody pleasure. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Nah, no problem, man. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Thank you.
No worries. Gerard City Bill.
What he said.